I am ready with real podcast
You,
equipment.
you. How many months has it been? I haven't even got mine out.
It's not
Okay,
important. It's not important how long it's
I
been.
feel bad now. I've got new earphones as well, and I haven't connected them to the laptop.
It's all
So my
right, at least.
apologies, listeners. My apologies. I've let the side down. Robin looks very fetching with his headphones on and a very whizzy looking muffler thing for his microphone. Did
It's
I
all it's
did
all
I send you
very
that? Or
yes.
did you added that on?
No, no, no. You sent me that.
Oh, right.
It's part of the Sub-Zero set.
Well, thanks to our sponsors, um, which we don't have today. We are riding free today, but thanks to our previous sponsors, we have been able to get you that lovely kit. Um,
Hooray!
how are you? It's been a while again. I don't know why. It's
It
been a bit
has. It has.
start. I mean, Joe was only last week,
Hmm.
so but I think we
Yeah.
recorded it the week before, didn't we? Anyway, so do you know what I did think we should also be saying? Today is Friday, the 10th of April, as we record and catch up on news. What have you been up to? What have you been, how's your running? Are you running? Are you training?
Yes. I am.
What's
I am
the
running stroke training. Yes. I'm feeling good about it actually. It's steadily picking up every single day this week. I'm
okay?
starting to feel a bit more motivated, a bit more on it. I've been thinking about my goals for the year and sort of like ripping them all up and starting again sort of scenario. And
Okay.
I've come up with a plan.
Oh, okay.
I've instead of just hedging my bets all on sort of one race, which adds a lot of pressure and
Hmm.
which apparently I just can't deal with at the moment, so I'm not going to.
Fair
Um,
enough. I
um,
hear the voice of Jen in the background somewhere.
yeah, and indeed a few other people as well. I've decided to do my local club's championship, by which your best 8 races
I
count
remember that.
towards your
Yeah, yeah. I think that's
table.
such a good idea.
Yeah.
Um, just as a concept.
Mm,
Um, I think it's, do you know what? I think it's something that's missing, um, actually in the UK as a whole in on the trail racing scene. I think more races should band together to create. I mean, I'm putting this out there because it's
mm.
been a seed of an idea for a long time, and I've spoken to some race directors about it, about creating a sort of championship, because I think it allows people, it gives people some, not just some goals, but it gives them some substance to the year rather than just having singular races to go for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's various series out there, isn't there? But there's not
Mm.
like an overarching one just for England or the UK or anything like that. So that's
No, that's just it. I mean, there was the Run Further um, series.
right.
Did you know about that?
No.
No, this is it. It was such a modest and humble thing, but it was an based, ultra distance based championship
Mm,
that um, Karen Nash kind of resided over, the sort of doyenne of the ultra running world, um, and she folded it, I think, in the end because it wasn't getting much participation. Clearly, as you've just pointed out, you've never heard of it, and I think there was no marketing to it. It was
mm.
like a fell running club. But for ultras, so it was so niche that unless you were part of it, you just didn't hear about it.
Yeah,
But I
that's
think
tricky to do it for ultras though, isn't it? Because you shouldn't really be encouraging people to do too many ultras either. So it depends how many you'd be
yes,
doing in one year.
I mean there were different distances again. I think they had a series of, from memory, something like 12 or 15, and then you had some 100 milers, some 50Ks, some 50 milers, and then I think you had to do like one from each distance,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, really. Uh,
Mm.
I'm sure there
Yeah,
will be something that pops up at some point because running is getting more popular, and as we've chatted about with so many people, more people are just going to end up
yeah,
running further and running on trails and stuff anyway.
yeah.
So yeah, someone could snag it at some point and maybe make
I
a
think,
success of
yeah.
it.
I think it's I think where people always fall down, and this is talking to a race director friend who's talked about it, is the entry process because you want to
Mm,
make it attractive for people. So I, offer a discount, say, for if you enter all three or five or whatever, you get a discount. But then because they're different races run by different people, they've all got different entry processes and that's where it kind of, I think that's where the concept tends to trip up.
yeah.
But
But in any
anyway,
case, yeah. So
good. Good
the
luck.
yeah,
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, my
excellent.
local ones, you have to do
Yeah.
one road, one trail, one fell, one short, one medium, one long, and then a
Oh,
couple.
nice.
Yeah, so
Excellent. When does it start? Has it started?
it's already started. So there's like 24 races in the year. So I'm sort of jumping in a bit later.
Are they all organized by them, or do they just
No, no, it's all just picked. So
pick
generally,
random?
sort of, well, it's all local anyway. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I think
Oh,
it
good.
feels good to me. So I've found some purpose.
Yeah. And then you've got a variety. You got exactly the variety that you love,
Exactly.
of distance and terrain. Um, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, over here I don't know if you read the article that I put out last night. Um, Megan James actually suggested it because she was entered into the Northern Traverse,
Hmm.
and like so many others out there, was suddenly faced with what do I do now? And she
Yeah.
went off. She actually did something completely different. She went off with a friend to do I want to say it's not the Glidders because it's a mountain range, but it's something in Wales that's a long distance trail. So it was three days doing that with her friend, fast packing. But she knew lots of people who were involved in all the other things
Hmm.
that were put on, and she put together a really lovely article, just putting together people's stories of what they did that weekend.
Mm. Yeah, that
Uh,
sounds great. I'll have to give that a read.
yeah, it was just I think it's there's I managed to speak to Kitty Lee and James Elson who
Hmm.
both put on the sort of main
Yeah.
structured events um, and it really struck me that pretty much what they said the weekend meant to them and what all the other individual runners contributed meant the weekend what the weekend meant to them was exactly the same was the community getting together that something incredible came out of it and somehow it was so much better because of it um I think really I think if you put a lot more effort into something you actually yeah you do gain a lot more out of it don't you
Yeah, absolutely.
so
I'd love to read into just how much I haven't properly looked at the community traverse and how they've been able to sort of afford doing it. Have they pulled money together? Is it all completely like, especially checkpoint wise?
they had a sponsor.
Did
Yeah.
they? Right,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that. Because
No,
I
they
was going
had
to say,
a
because surely they must need one. Yeah.
yes.
Oh, that's
Well,
good.
and this is, a sort of slightly cynical side of me does wonder that I think, was this a flash in the pan? People were meeting a sudden void, and the community came together because of it. You know, can can that sort of thing happen just normally without that sort of
Hmm.
catalyst. But yeah, as I say,
Yeah. A fair argument. Yeah, I mean, do we need to be paying race companies anything?
well, this is it, and and I think, oh, this is, I'm going to take the side of the race directors here and say, you know, you you can turn up to a fell race and pay a fiver, fine, but the moment you go into long distance, you've 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 got to be paying something.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying to make the race director a massive profit, but it is going to cost to put all those things in place. And
Definitely.
so,
Yeah.
I think it's you can't expect to pay £50 to pay, to run 100 miles.
No.
And and yes, it does make ultras inaccessible to some, and the wonderful into ultra. Actually, I've got a lovely article to put up about them. Actually, that's on my very long to-do list. Um,
Yeah, because they've stretched their sort of coaching, well, coaches into ultra coaches. I just noticed a few people I know have become them, so I assume they've tried to expand their reach to offer it to more people because
right,
that's what
yeah,
it looks like.
yeah. Well, it's amazing what they do. I mean, they don't just offer places. They offer coaching. They offer gear. Um, yeah, it's a wonderful thing, that it really is. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Shirin sent that to me, and yeah, I apologize now that I'm so far behind. I've got so much, and then yeah, we got the Cthulhu Microspikes Ghost review going up very soon. Ron Hill, Keen. There's just so much. It is.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
I used a pair of Cthulhu micro spikes on the round Sheffield run, like beta outdoor, like
Oh yeah.
graciously like gave me a pair like 5 minutes before the race start.
Oh nice. Uh,
Because I
what
was foolish
was it?
enough to arrive with no spikes and it was icy and snowy.
Oh, was it? Okay. Was it the ghosts?
I don't know what
Were they
variant they
light?
were. They
Because
were
I've got
very
the
light.
original micros. Yeah, I've got the original micro spikes, and it's like having a kilo on each foot.
Oh no, no, these were super light.
They'll be the
And
ghosts then.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the black ice just may as well have not existed. It was
Oh,
bizarre.
brilliant.
I never realized something could work so well on something so slippy. Yeah, so
Okay.
big
Oh,
fan.
awesome. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. So I'm just letting Nick Crossley in. We are talking to Nick Crossley and Ben Finch today at We Run events in Scotland. Um,
Hi.
ah,
Hi.
hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are
Okay.
you?
We are good. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. From a sunny Scotland this week.
Yes, and it's a well, I'm not actually um that far away from you. I'm in Cumbria.
All right. Okay. You never know
Um,
here. At the weekend, it was snowing where he was orienteering, and we had quite
okay.
nice sunny weather. So
Where are you exactly?
we're
But,
just north of Perth. Sorry.
yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah.
Perth. Perth. Where's Perth?
If you go
Not
all the way to the
Australia.
end of the motorways, that's where we are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
The end of the motorway.
okay. Okay. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Well, I mean, I think what I wanted to get you on about was your first female only ultra that you were putting on. Is it the River Tay?
Yes, it's the River Tay
Yeah,
Way
River
Ultra.
Tay Way.
It's very
Um,
exciting.
it's yeah, and I'm curious because I had a look at your other events, and you look as if you're very accessible. Your events are very accessible and welcoming anyway. So I'm
Oh, good.
curious as to why you felt you needed a female only race, actually.
Well, multiple reasons basically. So, pre-pandemic, our ultras, specifically the Ocul Ultra, which is our signature ultra, I'm pointing at him because it's all his
Yeah, I
brainchild.
started that one.
So that one's almost been running for a decade now, so that's quite
Okay.
exciting.
Yeah.
So we were so proud that it was about a 50-50 split on the start line. But since the pandemic, we've dropped to around 31% women on our ultras, and it's
Right.
even lower on our 10Ks and our smaller events. So
Mm.
Interesting.
in the back of my head, I was kind of like, okay, what can we do to appeal to more women to try and get that even again? And we are a member of She Races, so
Hmm.
we've been following their guidelines, which is super helpful, super helpful.
Yeah.
And then so separate to that, we used to do a running festival, Strathern Trail Festival, which was like 2 days of events, and you could do a day 10K, a night 10K, a 5K, and a half marathon. And if you did all four of them, then it was the Strathern Trail Ultra.
Yeah.
And it was a great event. We loved doing that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, for various reasons, we had to stop doing that. The venue that did that one, I saw they offered a female only 10K. And I was like, oh, that's fun. But they'd gone at it at an angle of, oh, women like luxury. So we're going to charge an arm and a leg, and we're going to include Prosecco on the finish line and a massage and all these bells and whistles. And I was like, that's great. That sounds fabulous. It's not for me because I don't mind about that stuff. But I was a bit like, oh, I like the idea of female only events. So that was sort of sitting in the back of my head. Last year, they opened up the brand new Rivertay Way, which is really close to us,
It is.
isn't it? It's literally
Comes past
just
almost
there.
past our house.
And
Okay.
we're a bit jealous of other uh, of other ultra race directors that have these stunning ways that are already marked. And I'm always saying to him, "Oh, is there an ultra on this way?" And he's like, "Yeah, so and so's done that. They've had that for years." So when they opened up a brand new way on our doorstep, we were like,
You
"Oh,
nabbed
we've got
it.
to put a race on there.
Bit quick.
We've got to put a race on there. We've got to be the first to like sneak in." And I was like, maybe this one can be the women only one, and we'll make it not every year. So we're not
Okay.
like excluding. This is not about exclusion. This is about inclusion. We
Yeah.
want our start rates, our start stats to be 50-50. We want that to reflect the population. We'd love 1% trans,
Yeah.
non-binary. We'd like 49 men, 50 women. That's what we want. That's what we would love.
Mm.
The dog's barking. Sorry.
Oh, I can't hear it.
I
Don't
can't
worry.
hear it. Yeah.
No, you're fine. Yeah,
Good microphone.
Robin's got
You
Robin's got
left
super
that
hearing on.
open.
Can't
So
hear
we would
anything.
love that. We would love that. And
Isn't
then I
that
was so going back to our tagline is we run events we'd love to run. So I was like, okay, well, Nick, what kind of ultra would you like to run? I'd like to have a go at a female only one. And I don't really care about the bells and whistles. So it's just like any of our other ultras. It's just, but we're saying just women.
Yeah. Do you think women use it as a starting point and then will go on to enter other ultras, or
I
do you
really
think
hope so.
Yeah,
there's
Yeah.
some
we hope that's the case. We hope this is a way in for women who haven't done ultras before. But on the other hand, there's on the start list, there's lots of women who we know have already done
Yeah.
other events of ours. So it's going to be a mixture, isn't it?
Think so. And we like to think that our ultras are quite good for beginners. So for example, the Ocul Ultra, it has a 30-mile option and a 50-mile option. We get to chat to people across the finish line. A lot of the women, their response to me is, this was my first ultra. I was thinking about doing the 50-mile, but then when I saw you did a 30, I decided to do that one. I'll definitely come back and do the 50 next year. So in my own personal experience from talking to this group of runners that we want to target, either women who are just into ultra running, or they maybe want to push it in the distance wise, or they've never done an ultra before. I think they like the 30-mile because it's not a massive intimidating distance. Maybe they've already done a marathon or something like that. And also they know us. Maybe they've done a couple of our other events, so they know like and trust us. And we want them to come and give it a go, and then maybe try some of our harder ones. Which, I mean, we were just talking this morning. We're aware that, for example, Sidlaw Ultra, you could almost argue that is more difficult for women to take part in because it's right in the middle of winter. So therefore, the amount of time you've got to train in the daytime hours is reduced and reduced and reduced. Now, yes, I understand not every woman is put off by running in the dark. I am personally. I really struggle to go out and train in the dark, energy levels and also safety wise. So you've got that aspect. A lot of our women runners want generous cutoffs. The men will ask us about drop bags and where spectators can cheer them on. The women will ask us, where are the loos? How many loos are there? What are the cutoff times? How fast do I need to go? Because they don't want to invest the money and not come out of it having done it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that men do. I'm saying they're like, maybe they're more confident and they're like, of course I'm going to make it. Whereas the
Yeah.
women, their worries are they're going to miss the cutoffs. So you can argue that Sid Law is almost geared up for men. It's in the middle of the winter, unless you're finishing at, what did you say, 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
You're running it in the dark. And you're running over a giant hill at the end in the dark. So
Which is spectacular. I mean,
it's amazing.
I mean,
It's amazing. And there's a reason it's called brutal. Beautiful, but brutal.
I mean, the first year we did it, they were running over the hill and they had the Northern Lights. So
Yeah.
it was absolutely stunning. So
We're at the finish like this.
which if you weren't running in the dark, you can't see the Northern Lights.
No,
So you've got that
exactly.
benefit. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So we tried to think of ways we could make the River Tay Way more appealing to women.
Okay.
So it's in the height of summer. So you've got a greater run up to training in the evenings with the lighter evenings. And we're in Scotland, so we do get lighter evenings. The kids are always complaining, it can't be bedtime, it's light outside. I wish it was my
I
bedtime.
know.
And then it's in the height of summer, so it's the 1st of August. So there's a nice long stretch of daylight where they've got a nice generous cutoffs. We like to be generous with our cutoffs anyway. We try and keep that open. We're not, and again, I'm not slagging off race directors that do this because there is a reason. There's always a safety reason to have cutoffs, but we are not the kind going right 3, 2, 1, done, out.
Yeah.
And I have read about people's experiences where they were literally like 45 seconds over the cutoff. But there has to be a cutoff. There has to be a cutoff. I completely understand.
And it's part of the reason that we do events that are local to us, because we can be generous with cutoffs because we're not far from home. So
Yes.
no, we haven't got to pack stuff up into vans and drive
Another 2 hours.
another 2 hours beforehand. So these are decisions that we make to make it more accessible. So we do local events so that we are local and
Yeah.
we're not too tired at the end. And
We also use our family members as marshals as well. So, if they don't want to be driven home, then they don't help out, we leave them behind. So other races are probably, they might be paying their marshals and they might be worrying about their marshals getting back to their family, whereas our family's together all day because we're all part of the event. So yeah, have I rambled on too much? I'm very sorry.
No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's interesting.
How far is the River Tay Way?
This is a you question.
it is well, the full route is just about 80 kilometers. We're slightly short of that because we're finishing at our fitness studio, so we're 76 kilometers.
Okay, nice.
The route.
Depending on where you look, in some of our promotion, it says 70 kilometers, and in others, it says 75 kilometers. That is entirely dependent on when I published whatever graphic was going out, because as we go out and recce the route and just make sure, because there might be places on it where we deviate slightly from the way, depending on checkpoints and stuff. So it's sort of worst case 76 kilometers, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is a nice doable distance.
It is.
How fast they need to be going to get it done in the time we've allowed?
About 5 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, so it's quite doable. I think you could walk it at a brisk pace.
Yeah. I mean, 3 miles an hour is brisk walk pace. So,
Yeah.
so it's not as long
Okay,
as
so
you
looking at
walk
about
stuff
15
ahead.
hours.
It's not. It's not on your website.
Is it not? Oh. I better put that on a to-do list then, clearly. This is the problem with having.
But I know I was just wondering if you were not doing it every year, perhaps you weren't going to bother. But no, I can't find it on your
No,
website.
I'll definitely add it. It does have its own website, the River Tay Way, rivertaywayultra.co.uk. So that is really up to date. It's the We Run Events website, which which clearly needs an update. I'm
Oh,
terrible.
so
I'll,
why is
I'll,
it
I'll tell off our web.
We need to fire our web person.
That's Nick. Nick does all of that as well. So he does all of the social media, the websites, everything. Because I mean, it's a family business, isn't
Of
it?
course,
It's us, it's parents.
I think that's why he's marrying, to be honest, right? Because when we met in 2018, he had a couple of races and he was like, oh, I did the websites for them. Do you want to look at them for me? And I went, oh, these are awful. I can fix these. And I've sort of stayed around ever since, haven't I?
Absolutely, yeah. And as Nick says, we get the kids are marshalling and on the events as well, and helping with the.
That's right.
with
Yeah, they
timing
hand out
and all sorts.
handing out the water and the medals at the end, and they're good.
That's
They're good
lovely.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably
Yeah,
maybe
that
we should
is.
say that. We'll get child labor laws coming after us, aren't we?
Oh, they love it. They
It's
love
work
it.
experience. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, why has it got its own website?
All our events have their own website, so
Oh,
it
okay.
helps with search engine optimization. So there's an Ocul Ultra website, there's a Sidler Ultra website, and then so the idea is that they're like the outside bits of a wheel, and then the We Run Events is the central spoke that sends
Okay.
people
Good
out.
shout.
Understood.
Good shout.
Yes, it does mean that the admin takes twice as long, and clearly I've forgotten to
Yes,
do a key
because you
aspect
need
of
to
it.
do it. Because you need to do everything twice for each
Yeah.
event, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's it's
So that's
it's
SEO for
something we
you.
need to discuss because people hear of, when I talk to runners out in the wild, and they've generally heard of the Ocul Ultra, but they haven't heard of We Run Events. So it's one of those things whether we got to figure out what we're doing.
We do. We keep learning. I mean, that's the
I
whole
keep
point.
looking at you. It's just me having a conversation with myself, going, Nick, do you think you can maintain this? Oh,
Yeah. So I mean, every race we do and every time we do something, we're learning, and we learn things from other people because I do timing for other people's events as well. So we're at events nearly every weekend.
Yeah.
And stealing ideas from other people as well, and
helping and supporting the race community,
Yeah, that's so. Is that how you started?
Yeah, we started off doing timing. So my dad and I started a timing business first of all, and then we thought, well, we've got all of this timing kit, and how do we make sure we practice using it and we know how it all works? And so we started doing our own events in the winter where we didn't have any bookings, and thought, well, we quite like this.
There was a bigger lead up to that because his whole family has orienteered since you were in utero, basically. And part of orienteering is the club plans and organizes various events and routes and courses and stuff like that. So what he actually means is you'd already been sort of planning courses and routes since day dot.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just, that's how we grew up.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
annoying because, maybe you guys are also in this a group of strange people. But when I get in my car and I turn the sat nav on and it goes head north, and I go, no idea what that means. I'm going to keep driving until the driving icon tells me I've gone the wrong way or whatever, and then I adjust my route accordingly. He knows where north is all the time.
Yeah, you look at the sun and things.
The sun moves.
That's the things.
This is the highly awkward thing about being yes. So I'm going to become a Finch quite soon, and then I'm going to totally let that name down in terms of orienteering because the Finches are highly respected in the orienteering community, and then I'm going to come in and be like doing my beginner course and getting lost, and they'll be like,
No.
"Oh, Nick Finch has got lost again."
You'll be bringing a skill set they don't have.
Right, yeah, the marketing, that I can do that. They don't know anything about that. That's good.
But it comes back again to getting women involved. I mean, my mum was the first woman to do the or Carrymore Mountain Marathon as it was.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So she was part of the first female pair to do that over 50 years ago. So getting women involved in sort of running and outdoors and things is obviously something that's in the blood.
Yeah.
And we've got two little girls as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
we want them to be inspired by all these great women. I mean, we did the GPS tracking and timing for Jamie Aarons when she did
Oh yeah.
the Monroe
Ah,
run,
yes. Yeah, yeah.
which was really inspiring as well. And
Yeah, brilliant.
we climbed one of the Monroes to see her at the finish.
It was awful. It was awful. How she did 282 of those, I have no idea because I was dying.
I think with
And then we
difficulty.
had to go back down the thing. And I was like, I just want to live here now. Thanks. I'm done. It's just, yeah. Yeah, we were a part of that team. So I was her social media marketing person. So all those little videos
Oh,
that went out,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was me. And he
Oh,
helped check over the route and plotted it all in the GPS tracker. So we had a big screen TV set up on the breakfast bar and it was on all the time. So literally I was like waking up in the middle of the night and looking at the dot and checking that she was still
yeah,
moving and checking that the volunteers were and the marshals that she had, her crew
yeah.
were like where they needed to be. And that was amazing. And then it all finished and we didn't know what to do with ourselves, did
No,
we?
no.
So
Yeah, when was
love
that?
following.
2, 3 years ago?
It was 23, yeah. So it was
Yeah.
we would have been planning it. But
Mm.
it was amazing because
Yeah.
I was on the website updating her fundraising target because as we were climbing that last bloody Monroe, she'd reached and breached it. And I
Oh,
was on
brilliant.
the phone with
Yeah.
one of her sponsor, Moggins, going, what target should I do now? Because I couldn't call Jamie because she was somewhere else on the same Monroe. And then
Yeah.
he was like, put 14, put 14. So that's 14,000, publish, publish, publish. And then more was coming in, and I was just checking it. It was a ridiculous time. But yeah, being part of that was amazing
Yeah.
because she beat not only the world record, which was held by a man, she beat a man. And that was inspiring, hugely
Mm,
inspiring, because
mm.
normally it's the female only record. And as a woman, you kind of get used to that and be like, well, I can't ever hope to beat the record that's held by a man because obviously it's a male record and my body's not the same as that. But actually, um, there are
Yeah.
ways in which
Yeah.
we as women
Well,
can
Sabrina Verjee won outright the not the Northern Traverse that the Centurion put on.
yeah,
So, I
exactly.
mean,
Mm.
It's
it
happening more
happens.
and more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like it's like when was it Roger Bannister broke the
Yeah.
is it the 4 minute
Four
Four,
mile?
minute
four minutes.
mile.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like you just need these trailblazers to keep doing it.
Yeah,
And the more we
yeah.
talk about it, the more women will go, actually, maybe I could do something similar. And we're trying to be like that in the ultra
Mm,
running world. So not saying that ultras aren't welcoming overall for women,
yeah, yeah.
because they can be, especially if they follow the She Races guidelines, which
Mm.
is excellent.
Yeah, and
Um,
we are seeing more events doing things
yeah,
like early starts for women and things. So
yeah.
it's getting into sort of the community sort of way of working, and we're seeing that like
But
chilled running up
oh
in
yeah.
Inverness. They're another female race director, but they're really good at sort of having early starts for
I
women and
do think
things.
it's sometimes things that we might, and I say we as race directors might not notice, and that's things like I I'm responsible for the medal designs. So I send off. We've got a lovely medal company called Modern Forms that we work with in Poland. So I send off like the logo and a brief description of like what it's like, and then they come back with a design. Now, a few years ago, when I first started getting the medal designs, it would always be a male runner figure on it. Whether you
Yeah.
had one or multiple, they would be the same guy.
Same. Yeah.
And
Mm.
because I was aware of it, I was like, I'm not represented here.
No. Where's
So
the
Mm.
I would go
skirt?
back to them and go, I like this design, but can we have a
Yeah.
woman? And then
Yeah.
I would ask them for the woman to be at the front. And what I noticed was nobody complained. But I was
No.
thinking, I bet the women notice. The men probably don't care because they don't notice. But if there's
No.
even one woman who goes, "Oh,
Mhm.
wow, look at all my
Yeah.
medals on my shelf, and this is the only one that's got a woman on it," I think that makes a difference.
Definitely does. Definitely does. I remember I used to, for a short while, I would publish results of races at the end of a weekend just on my Instagram, and I'd make a point to put the women's results first and the men's results second because it just doesn't happen. It's another default that people just
Exactly.
don't think about,
Yeah,
and it just doesn't.
exactly.
And then until you do it, and even to myself, I was like, this is important. I need to make sure I put the women's first. Like a lot of people just wouldn't even think about it because you've
No.
been so used to it for
I
so
think you
long.
started a trend because I am starting to see it more now.
I think I
Yeah.
I
did. I
love
think I
that
did.
so much because
Yeah.
I would notice that. And if you
Mm,
were a race director, I'd make a mental note going, this guy gets it. And then I would look for your events and stuff like that. So it doesn't, doing something small like that doesn't negatively affect the guys in the race,
No.
but it will
not at all.
positively impact the women.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
so a lot of, we try and be as representative as possible with our imagery. So we make sure that we've got women represented there. I try for multiple colors, I mean, I shouldn't say multiple colors, multiple backgrounds,
yeah.
Yes.
which is another difficult one
Yes.
because again, and it's something we are trying to figure out how
Oh,
to also address, but we're just doing one thing at a time. Um, but yeah, it sounds a bit like parasitic, but if I've got a female black runner crossing that line, I'm going to take a million photos of her and beg her to be my next poster girl because then it's like tick, 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 tick. Okay, if I only reach one extra woman because of those photos or one extra person of color because of those photos, then I'm doing my bit to try and make it open up.
Mm,
And people already think that ultra running is some impossible feat. But we try and say to people, actually, we think ultras are easier than marathons because we'll tell you, I want you to walk up that hill. I don't want you to run it. I want you to
hmm
walk and eat if possible so that you're fueled for the next part of the event. And then, yes, run downhill if it's safe, and then your choice on the flats. I mean, and we always use Dean Karnazes as a fantastic example. The guy who figures out where he's going to be in 50 miles or whatever and orders a pizza to meet him there and then stuffs the pizza down.
And in Scotland, you could get deep fried pizza.
You could.
Mars bars.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm aware that using Dean Karnazes as an example is a tricky one because they've done experiments on that guy's body and he just doesn't retain lactic acid like us normal folk.
Oh,
So the
really?
buildup comes, but then it just disappears.
Yeah,
How
he's a
insane is
special man. He's a
that?
special man.
How do, yeah. Yeah, I
Love
don't
Dean.
think
You've gone
he's
off topic now.
Off
representative.
So yeah,
topic. I'm
we've gone
sorry.
on to
I'm
pizzas.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not representative of anyone, really, is he?
No.
No, Dean isn't. No, no, no. So yeah, going back to that, you're listing the women's first. Fantastic. I love that
Mm.
because you're right. Women are often treated as an afterthought, and I've witnessed this at sometimes our own races, but also races that we're helping out at or timing. The first person over the line, usually a guy, gets a big fanfare and everyone's like, runner, runner, and they get
Hmm
loads of attention. And then maybe the first three come through, and then the first female comes through, and there's
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Like an afterclap. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
an
seen it
afterthought.
happen where I've been at the finish line, like having finished a race myself, and then seen the first female come through. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the
Yeah,
first female crossing the line, and only like 2 minutes later, it's like, oh, well done, by the way.
Yeah.
Like they've not even noticed it
exactly.
themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. And okay, that particular runner won't have seen the
Yeah.
big
No.
fanfare that the male got,
Mm,
but everyone else did.
yeah.
Maybe her kids or her husband or her
Mm.
friends
Mm.
saw
Yeah.
it and so we just want to try and
Yeah.
even the
And
playing field a little bit.
hmm
there's things you can do about that. So with the GPS tracking and things, you can
Mm,
give people different identifiers so that I often try and make sure the women have got a different color dot
Hmm.
to the men,
Yeah.
so that it's easy to see whether that lady is and when she's coming in, so that you can be prepped to make a fuss about them rather than it being a sudden surprise that, oh,
Yeah.
there's a woman
Yeah. Yeah.
appeared.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and you want to follow the women's race as well, don't you? So you want to know like how far ahead anyone is as you would
yeah,
the men's race.
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
especially if they're breaking the course record or something,
Mm.
you know.
or seeing where their competitors are behind them as well. I mean,
Yeah.
they look at the GPS tracking as well when they're out running to see where
Yeah,
everybody
they do. Yeah.
is, to
Yeah. Yeah.
see what's going on.
Actually, that's a good point because I think sometimes women can be more competitive than men because I've had quite a few like say to me, how far away was I from the lead or whatever,
Mm.
things like that. So I do think that maybe it's because I talk too much, but women ultra runners have the most fascinating stories as well. When you sort of dive deep into that,
Mhm.
they maybe they. I don't
In
know,
in
our
what way?
just like things that they see and on the course. And I've had some fascinating conversations with women over the at the finish line, chatting to them about, like when they've talked about wrecking the route or particular checkpoint, or maybe they've made a particular point to say to me about like a marshal was super helpful and that really kept them going and stuff like that. Um,
Do you think women are,
Yeah.
do you think women are more about the detail, which sort of up until the time that we started running meant that the blokes could they just kind of did it off the back of a packet of fags. But now wrong analogy, I know, but you know what I mean. But now that women
It's
are
never a
involved in
woman who
running,
it's never a woman who turns up having got a shoe or
yeah,
left the drop bags at home or anything like that. I mean,
we're just
I'm
making
not.
it
I
difficult for
don't know.
everyone.
There was that runner who left their walking sticks at registration and then had to be driven back by a marshal to
Yeah,
get the sticks. And I was like, no, don't do it. I'm glad they did.
well, yeah, but she came to ask for help. She didn't just
They
get
did.
yeah,
Yes, they did.
yeah.
You
But
can't
So
say
funny.
it was a non-binary runner, so
Mm.
that skews all the stats.
well, fair enough.
I really like earlier on you mentioned how training for an ultra can be difficult for women, especially with over a winter period, and that's one of the reasons why you moved the race because it's the 1st of August this year,
Yeah.
and makes it easier to like it's March, it's April now already, blimey,
Mm.
Sorry,
but
yeah.
it is ways, yeah. I really like that that was a consideration for the
Mm.
race day. I would never have thought of that. I mean, I do think about women running in the dark and stuff, and I've got a small little running club, and that's the purpose of it is to make sure that women can train over winter as well.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't have considered that as part of the race day. I think that's a really good point, that one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I personally don't enjoy running in the dark. Only one aspect of that is feeling
Mm,
safe because you do, and it's a small voice in the back of my head thinking somebody could be watching and commit crime on me. But
mm,
also I don't want to fall down and be lost in the
yeah.
ditch somewhere.
Hmm.
And I think you've got more chance of being hidden in a ditch, unconscious if it's dark than if it's daylight.
Yeah.
Um, um, so,
I need
but
to unpick this later.
yeah, sorry, I listen to way too many true crime podcasts. So yeah, so in terms of training, so for example, I was signed up to do the London Marathon this year. I've got a charity place from the MS Society because I have MS, and I've had to defer partly because we had biblical weather up here for 8 weeks straight, and um, I prefer running on the trails. Couldn't really run on the trails because you couldn't really see with all the rain and all the roads and the pavement was icy as anything. And yeah, I had to run before 3 o'clock because that's when it got dark. So all the training went out the window. And last month I was like, oh God, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. So that is one of the factors with
Gosh.
somebody who's training for the marathon because it's
It's winter training, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to train basically from Christmas until the end of April. So if we
Mm.
move that chunk of time to August, then they've got 4 months now to train for the River Tay Way. So
Hmm.
they've got hopefully better weather so they can go out there. They've got more time in the day so they can still do their day jobs and come home and then do their running. And they've got later hours in the weekend because most people do their long run on a Sunday because if they have normal 9 to 5 jobs, unlike us, then they tend to got Sunday off. But another factor to consider, and this is possibly where we've come into some controversy and negative comments, was that women still, and that's not me making this up, women still carry the bulk of the domestic labor. So whilst we are out there in the workforce and we all have jobs, we apparently didn't request properly to get equality at home. And if anybody listening to this or watching this is up in arms going, well, that's not fair. My partner does 50%. Great, great, wonderful,
Yeah. Yeah.
fantastic. I'm so happy for you. Because that is how it should be. But the reality of it is that women still do the vast majority. And I think it's around 75%. So it's quite a bit. It's not just edging over, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
therefore, if a woman is doing a full-time job and then coming home and doing all the domestic labor and the mental load, and if you've got kids, looking after the kids and stuff like that, then your time is already squeezed and you're
Hmm.
probably not getting a great amount of sleep either. So it's not simply a case of just wake up at 5 and go out before the day starts. Because if you only manage to get time to yourself at 11:30 at night, you ain't getting up at 5. You're going to
No.
sleep in till the first person wakes up. And you
Yeah.
don't promise you'll do
Which
it.
might
No,
still be
which might,
five.
no, it
Which
might
might
still
still
be
be
5.
five, yeah.
But then you're
Could still be 5, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, okay, so I'm obviously a mum of 4, so I'm going to talk about this from a motherhood perspective. So yes, I'm not trying to uh,
Mm.
ignore the women out there without children, because if they're in a relationship or if they live with someone, they're still doing that domestic labor. So their time is still squeezed. It's
Mm.
probably just as squeezed as me because they might be managing their partner or their in-laws or something like that.
Mm.
Okay. We wish this wasn't the case, but it is. And somebody did the maths recently. I can't remember what the statistic is on this. I will do my very best to find it if you need to link it in your notes. But somebody actually worked out at the current rate of how we're sort of asking for help and helping teach the next generation to take on more of the domestic load. When will it be equal where actually there's 50-50 in the workplace and 50-50 doing the domestic labor? It's 2066. So if we carry on at the current rate, that's when we'll finally have
Really?
less to do at home.
You're kidding.
Well, I
No,
mean,
I'm
if you
actually
watch,
not.
So
if
yeah,
you,
I mean, we're gonna have we're gonna make sure we train our boys and girls appropriately.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
So
boys have to cook one meal a week at the moment. They're 12 and 14.
I
Uh,
have to
nice.
say, I do think we are our own worst enemies, or certainly I can put my hand up because it's quicker if I do it. And
yes,
I know this is going to rock the
it is.
foundations of everyone, and every woman in arms is going to be going, no, but that's just what I end up doing. I
But
just
you're
end up doing
right.
it.
You're right, which is why it is 2066 and not 2036, because this is a thing that we haven't necessarily created it ourselves, but potentially like the way
Mm,
we've been taught to help the male people in our lives to help is go, okay, well, if you could just, oh, well done, you did the dishwasher. I'm so pleased. And like, oh, yes, I'll make you a list, darling. Oh, no, don't worry. I'll buy your mom her birthday card. We're sort of softly,
we
softly
don't
doing it.
paint this in the pictures other couples and not us.
Yes, no other couples.
No, I'm afraid this all sounds fairly familiar.
So it's I believe we've been taking a softly approach because I don't know whether And it's not you and me, Katie. It's, it's maybe our
No.
mothers. Because I was told by older women at work going, "Oh, you corrected your husband when he loaded the dishwasher wrongly. You shouldn't do
Corrected.
that. You should have said, 'Oh my God, you've done such a great job,' because otherwise he'll never do it again." And I was like, "Oh God, she's right."
Yes, but they do it on purpose. They do it
They
badly on
do, they do, not
purpose.
him, but they do. Some of them do. Yes.
The
Well, in this house,
children.
Mine,
if the boys load the
definitely.
dishwasher incorrectly, I
I
say,
am
"Well,
this
this is how you
close.
do it. You're going
I'm
to
this.
keep doing it until you've done it right. It'll be your turn until it's done right.
Okay, I
And
am
if this is your
inspired.
job,
Yeah.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
be going home."
I'm I'm inspired now because I was this close actually to thinking I'm just going to do the washing up myself because I'm just redoing it again anyway.
Yeah.
It is so hard.
But
It is
actually,
so
I do.
hard.
I just need to put it back and say that's been rejected.
And then add on to that you've got this job, your real job, right, that you actually get paid for. And then add on to that someone going, "Right, now you've got to find 8 hours to train this week and eat for it and eat around it
Hmm.
and also do your strength training and your cross training and drink enough. And oh, you only got 4 hours sleep. That's not enough. And maybe you should factor in some massage just to help your muscles recover." It's too much. It's
Oh,
too
yes, please.
much.
Hmm.
It's too much. So our
Yeah.
time,
Mm,
yes, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but
mm,
women's time is a lot more squeezed than a man's time.
good.
Because let's face it, if you said to me, "Nick, I've signed up to a marathon," no, let's pretend it's not you and me because you and I don't have normal
No, we
nine to
don't. We
five jobs.
don't.
We work a lot of weekends. But let's say we are a classic couple where we both work 9 to 5. I do the majority of the cooking and the cleaning, and Ben signed up to a marathon and says, "Oh, so I'm going to start doing my long runs on a Sunday. They'll start at 2 hours, and then as they get closer to the race, it'll be 6 to 8 hours." All right. And he's going to do that. Nothing will generally fall off the list in the
Mm,
house because I'm already responsible for it. My time will get further squeezed because it now means I'm solo parenting for those hours that he's out. Um,
mm.
Bonus, he's not around making mess, so maybe there'll be less mess for me. When you
That
flip that,
that bit is me. No, that was fine.
when you flip that and go, "Right, me, normal couple, I'm going to take some time to myself on a Sunday, and it's going to be between 2 and 6 hours." The reality, and I don't want to get jumped on for this because this is not for 100%, but
No.
for a lot of women, is you would go out for that 2 hours, you would come back, the house would probably be dirtier than you left it. The kids will immediately greet you upon coming in, going, "I'm hungry, I'm tired, he stole my toy, blah, 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 blah." And you will then have to cook, clean, and somehow make up for the long run hours that you were gone
Mm,
in this already squeezed time. So, any woman who manages to devote a significant amount of time in the week to training is a goddess, in my opinion, because she's somehow juggling it. And also, maybe she's got an amazing set of people in her life that can support her. Saying that, sorry, I've taken over again. We did have a lot of responses from men when we first announced this event.
yeah.
The majority were men saying, "This is amazing. This is going to be a great event. I will be there cheering on women, and this is something that's clearly needed." The majority of them were saying that. We did have a few who were
Mm,
complaining, saying that it wasn't fair that we were holding a female-only ultra. We were
Tough.
expecting to get some kind of pushback because we've included non-binary and trans men
Mm.
in this ultra. And the reasoning is because they generally face the same barriers as
Yeah.
females.
Yeah.
And we talked to our non-binary and trans men runners, what few that we have a very tiny amount,
Yeah.
to get sort of feedback. on that. And we haven't had any pushback from that. We haven't had any women going, I would have run this, but now you've got a trans man coming. I
Mm.
don't want to do it. Or you've got non-binary. We haven't had any of that.
I'm
We have
confused. Sorry. Trans man is
female to male.
very much, yes, okay.
Yeah. So they will
Okay.
have generally grown
Okay.
up
So they're,
without
yes.
male privilege,
Hmm.
potentially
And
facing the same on-street harassment, the same barriers to
yeah.
running as
Okay.
a
And
female.
physically,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
It's interesting about trans men actually because they've grown up like they will have grown up at some point in a female body and
Yeah.
treated like a woman with
Yeah.
all the fun that comes with that.
Yeah.
And then when they've made the transition,
Yeah.
they're now a male, unbothered, like they're aware that they've got male privilege, but they're also sort of invisible. So a
Yeah.
friend of ours joked that you can always tell a trans man because they'll be the ones washing their hands in the toilets.
Okay. Wow. And what about trans women then?
We haven't included them,
Okay.
uh, but it might be a conversation that
It's,
we will
it's
need to have.
yeah.
Um, the
Well, we have, I mean,
we
it's open to women.
It's
So
open to women,
it's
yeah.
open to women. So
So if
we haven't
they can
named.
run as a female, we,
Yeah.
we have that as standard on all of our events that we are LGBTQI plus friendly, and you are welcome to run as the gender of your choice. So if a trans woman wants to run and be female they can run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. They will have had different experiences with the
Yeah.
privilege because they'll have grown up with male privilege. And
Yeah.
once they made the transition, that female harassment just slaps you in the face, and then they get harassed just like us, and are probably potentially more terrified of being out on the trails sometimes.
Well, I will say for anyone who, as you say, you've had some pushback. I've seen some pushback on posts. I don't know if you saw, I published a thing about the new law on
Yeah.
harassment
Yeah. We were discussing that this morning as well.
recently, and
I
I
haven't
think,
seen your post, but we are
okay,
aware of the new law.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think the I get a lot of comments from women saying, I never have a problem, you just need to be more confident, or, you need to do this or that, and I've never had an issue, and I don't know, what the problem is, or I've never had a problem competing with men, I've got no problem toeing the line with men. And I think I've kind of feel like that. I've never had issues. I've been incredibly fortunate. But most people do. And I
Mm,
think we can't take that away from the fact, the fact is these issues are there. And if you've managed to avoid them thus far, brilliant. But most people haven't. And most women struggle with this, with that, with the other, and all these things. Like you were saying, it's we might hate it, but the facts are there.
Yeah.
That
And it
I
comes back
completely
to,
so
agree.
so
Yeah.
you've actually, if you don't have a problem, great.
yeah,
That's fantastic. But let us help those who do.
exactly. And that's what it's about. It's about getting people out on the trails, up on the hills, enjoying the scenery, having
Yeah.
a great time together, and
And not being
experiencing,
worried
not being
about
worried, and
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
enjoying being an ultra runner and everything that goes with that. Um, and yes, as we said at the beginning, our hope is that they'll enjoy it so much that they'll come and do other events that are
Yeah.
mixed
Yeah.
events, whether they're
Yeah.
ours or somebody else's. Maybe they'll,
Sharpen your elbows, dig those men out the way,
Yeah.
and get out
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Exactly.
Mm.
yeah.
And
So
and we're not saying that mixed events are dangerous or that they aren't just as equally as welcoming to women.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of women out there who
Just need a
just
little
feel
extra.
more comfortable in the presence of other women, and that's the market we're looking for. This is
Hmm.
yeah,
we run so many events throughout the year, and it's on a way that you can run at any time. So
Mm.
any man who's like gutted that they can't do this event, you can do it. You could do it tomorrow. It's there. It's there. The routes published on the Perth and Kinross Countryside Trust, because they're the ones who've put the way together. Um, there are toilets along it, which is another reason why we love it.
Yeah.
Because
There's a specific.
then
Yeah.
Okay.
we are happy doing bush weeds, but we'd much rather have a real toilet, and we've got free period products in there as well, just in case.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say no. I mean, that was part of the Perth and Kinross Countryside Trust. One the thing they did was, I
Yeah.
mean, it's still being done, but they've already created one River Tay hub, so there's accessible toilets there already, and they're working at doing more. But we on the Ultra itself, we've linked in with the Burnham Arts Centre in Dunkeld.
Yeah.
So we've got real toilets, real cubicles for people to use.
Yeah.
And again, we've got a restaurant.
It's Ushki, I think. I'm hoping I'm not butchering that.
It's a
Ushki. It's a restaurant. It's a beautiful restaurant, and they've got like an outdoor terrace, and they might let us put a big screen TV in there so that the spectators, can dot watch while they're going along.
Nice.
Is this at the end of the course, or
No, this is one of the
This is one of the
checkpoints.
checkpoints. So
Yeah,
the
we've got
checkpoints are
the River Tay Way hub. That's one of the checkpoints. We've got the Burnham Arts Centre in Dunkeld is another checkpoint, and we're that's got like a little Beatrix Potter garden outside. So it's lovely. So even like for spectators, it's quite fun, because you can sort of wander around the Beatrix Potter garden while you're waiting for your person to come through, and then you can go off. Maybe you can get a coffee or a lunch at the restaurant and dot watch in there.
sounds great.
And
Do you allow crew?
People, I don't think they'll need a crew for this, but people often arrange for their spectators to sort of meet them at the checkpoint, and just sort of chat to them and things like that. It's often people like filming them on their phones. So with Sidlaw, it's usually the wife or the girlfriend, like making sure they get the Instagrammable moment to put on the socials, and making sure they're eating enough. But they tend to put their food and snacks in their baggies, and then we have that waiting for them at the checkpoint. And then we're starting off at, I've got to make sure I read this right. It's the Mains of Taymouth Countryside Estate and Golf Course. So they're letting us use their car park for registration. There's also like a courtyard restaurant, which is probably not going to be open at the time of registration, but there is a coffee van, so people can have coffees, because I think a lot of spectators need that coffee.
They do.
They do.
They're like, oh God.
Yeah, and they can hang around and have breakfast after runners have all gone.
They've got
I think it sounds more fun to be a spectator, actually. I want to come to the
yeah.
snack stops.
I mean, we've already got quite a few people signing up to volunteer. So.
Yes, but we need more. Right. So when you volunteer with us, it's super fun. We provide lunch. We generally give you a t-shirt and a medal if there's any spares. You get to hang out with me, chatting your ear off all day. And we try and just have a real laugh with it. So yeah, we always need volunteers.
You get free entry into
you get free entry for the next time, and it doesn't have to be at the event that you volunteer at. So if we've got some guys who want to volunteer and show us what feminist ally you are, come along, scream for the woman that you're supporting, and then you could go, oh, I use that for my Ocul entry, or I use it for my Sidlaw entry. We are happy to switch and swap around, and we just like to make a nice atmosphere at checkpoints. We are partnered with this event with Trail Goddess, which is this amazing.
I met her at the running show, actually. And
oh, did you?
She's
lovely.
I need to reach out. Yes, she is, isn't she? She's
yeah, I've heard good things.
Their whole ethos is that sort of in the past, women's running gear is basically a men's running jacket, just smaller. And
pink it and shrink it.
We know we have slightly different anatomy. So yeah, her brand is it's designed exclusively for women. By women, and the colours are great.
They are, aren't they?
If you enter the River Tay Way, you get entered into a free prize draw to win a trail kit pack. worth
Oh, cool.
£130.
Awesome.
That's good. So they're probably going to be on a checkpoint as well. She said she'd bring some of her ladies. So they're going to be loud and fun. So that's, anytime. I always think the point of the checkpoint is to refuel not only the person's body, but also their spirit. Because we
Mm-hmm.
do
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
see that where a runner is like, oh, I don't know. And we would never take that immediately and go, okay, right, give us a chip. We'd be like, are you sure? What are you
Yeah,
thinking? Talk to us, give
yeah,
it 5 minutes, have a sit down, have some gummy
Hmm.
bears. Let's see how you
yeah,
feel.
yeah, yeah.
But saying that, we would love to have more partners and sponsors. I don't want to plug too much, but we would love to get some more female oriented businesses um,
Yeah.
to just come along, help out, and if we can help you promote your business and come help promote our event, we would love to see this event going on for a
Mm.
long, long time, and hopefully sooner than 2066 we can open it up to men, because the second we've got 50-50 at our start
Yeah,
lines, we're
yeah, yeah.
opening it up.
Perfect. Hmm.
All
I mean,
right. Well, ladies,
yeah.
there we go. If you hear
Yeah,
any,
so you're going
yeah.
to come do it then, Katie?
Uh,
Oh,
It's not
do you know
it's
what?
not
I am quite tempted actually. I'll have to see if it fits.
yeah.
1st of August, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1st of August. You've got just under 4 months to train. Well, you might not need to train. You might already be ultra ready.
No, not really. But yeah, I'll
I'm
have a look.
always
It
pro
does sound
ultra.
very
Every time I
good.
meet a fellow runner, I'm like, have you done an ultra? Do you want to do an ultra? And they're like, oh, ultras. But I used to feel like that about 10Ks. When I had an office job, and I used to say to my colleague, oh, John, what did you get up to this weekend? He'd be like, oh, I just did a 10K. And I'm like, 10K? Oh my God, like, that's not humanly possible. And now we plan races that are like 100 miles.
We
And
do.
I get that response from people, and my standard line is, I don't run them. We just make other people run them. But
Yeah,
also,
but it's
if you can run 10K, you can run 50.
Mm.
yeah.
It's all about,
Yeah.
I mean, one
Yeah,
of the
it's all
things I love
mindset. Yeah.
about the ultras is nobody ever asks you how long it took you.
no one cares.
You
Yeah.
say I ran an ultra, they'll say how far.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so the time is irrelevant, which is what makes the community so great, because we're all
Yeah,
just the same. We all run the same
exactly.
distance.
It's less focused on time, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you run a marathon,
It's
everybody's got an idea in the head of what a good time is for a marathon. And
Mm.
so
Hmm.
as soon as you say, "Oh, I was 5.5 hours," they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and you're like, "No,
That
no,
sounds
I'm
amazing.
delighted. I got all the way around."
That does sound amazing. This is another reason why I pulled out, because we had a few people say, "Oh, but you could do it anyway and walk." And I'm like, I can't do I can't do the London Marathon and not give it my best, because it's a once in a lifetime
Mm.
thing. Why would I go all the way from Scotland to London and spend all that money and stay 2 nights in a hotel to not run it and try and get
Yeah.
something good? I could walk a marathon round here.
Mm.
And also, I'm
Yes.
not good at walking. It'd probably take me a couple of days, I reckon.
Just like
Were
route
you
march.
able to defer?
Well, it's tricky with charity
That-
places.
Yeah.
They said I still have to apply for my charity place in 27, but they've put me on a special list, like a special dispensation list. So fingers crossed,
Yeah.
because some people
Okay.
have already donated to my fundraising page, but apparently I can roll that over. I feel very guilty, but there's no way I could have made it.
No,
Yeah, and I've
no.
managed to mess up my shoulder last week as well, so even better.
Oh.
I can't run. But I would like to do the River Tay Way. Um, I know I can't do it this year because you'll need me, but maybe 28.
If we got enough volunteers and helpers that I can manage without you, then yeah, by all
That
means.
bit that we did, we
Yeah.
just did a recce a few weekends back, of a bit just to make sure that it tallies up with where we want the route to go. And it is stunning. It's
Yeah.
stunning. We went from Dunkeld to Merthley.
Yeah.
So we basically went from the Burnham Arts Centre to that Ushke. restaurant.
Through Burnham Woods.
Yeah,
So
through Burnham Wood.
famous for your Macbeth people. So
Yeah.
which links into Sidlaw, because Sidlaw goes over Dunsinane Hill, which
Yeah.
is Macbeth's castle was.
Oh,
So yeah, so
okay.
you've got that link, Shakespeare link up there.
We should
Yeah.
get some Shakespearean quotes out on the course.
We should, yeah.
But yeah, it was beautiful. It's like stunning, like different bits of forestry, and we hardly saw anybody.
Do you follow the river or what?
So the route doesn't follow the river all the way, so it takes a bit of a shortcut. It cuts off a big bend, partly just to make a safe route. And
See it there near the end,
Yeah.
couldn't we?
yeah,
But when we were driving a few weeks before the recce, to try and see about potential checkpoints, the actual bit we were going to be on was underwater. That's how bad the weather has been.
Yeah.
Another reason to put it in the height of summer, because you're not going to be wading, swimming.
No.
This is
No.
the swim portion.
yeah, it's not a swim run. Don't worry.
You're going to have to tell Benny.
I'll have to go and get the door. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. This is school holidays.
Yes.
Fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we wanted to make sure we mentioned. I don't want to take over with plugs. Yes.
No, you're fine. You can plug away. Plug away. I think we need to start a campaign. The more volunteers we get, the more chance Nick has to run it.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, we have sort of a core group of volunteers that they're so lovely and so faithful. They're literally like turn up at all of our events, and one of them's featured on all of our promotion, because on Ben's birthday last year, his choice for spending the day was taking 3 runners out onto part of the course and forcing them to run up and down. Well, I filmed them and took photos, and Sully had the drone up and stuff like that. So that's what's populating the website and any promotional material that goes out. There are like core volunteers.
Nice.
We just love having them around. And if they get sick and stuff, we can't do the events. That's how dependent we are. Hence why the child labor issue.
Yeah, and we're not having any more children, so we're not going to solve the problem that way.
No, I think 4 is enough.
Yeah, 4 is enough. Yeah,
4 is enough.
I've got a wedding dress to get into. I'm not gonna.
When are you getting married?
December.
Oh,
yeah. So we've got a
Nice.
wedding to plan as
Winter
well.
wedding.
When we're not organising any other events, it was the only time it fits in, because we're timing events and organising events through the rest of the year.
I think we're being a bit generous about like putting it in August. August was a freer month to put the River Tay Way on. It's great that it's aligned up beautifully, that you get the extra cut-off time and the extra training time. But one of the reasons that it's every other year is because if we did it in 27, it would clash with the Scottish 6 Days orienteering event. So we're keeping that free in case everybody wants to do that. And I also think if you are going to exclude one whole sex from it, then maybe it shouldn't be a yearly thing. And to any guy out there who's absolutely gutted that we're doing one of our events it is for non-penis havers, you can do it anytime. You can do it anytime, or come and do one of our other events and see how that goes.
And
Every woman that you know to do more ultras, because the second that our start lines are back to 50-50, we'll absolutely open it up.
And I've always got more ideas as well, so I'm always poring over maps, seeing if I can work out new places to make people run. So
I'm still gutted we're not doing the duo dash. I thought this was a brilliant idea. So like a circular loop that you did with a partner. So you set off at the same time, but you go other ways. And then you pass
Ooh.
each other at the checkpoint and then you meet there. And if they're
Oh,
faster than
wow.
you, you have to wait until you're both back and then you go back again.
Oh,
Isn't
that
that a
sounds.
great idea?
Yeah,
I
that's
love it.
cool. I
We
like
couldn't
that. Yeah.
make it work, could we?
Well, we'll just need to find the right place for it. So we're always thinking of new ways to make people go for a run and have fun with it as well, because that's the whole point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're meant to be enjoying yourselves when you're out there.
We try and encourage people to take selfies when they're out on the course as well,
Yeah.
because you should be stopping and taking
Well,
a
I
big
love the picture you sent me. That was great.
yeah.
Yeah,
One
that's
of my
super.
favorite, and this is before I even met Ben. It must have been from 17, I guess. One of the female runners from Ocul Ultra, she'd sort of videoed herself. And this is pre-TikTok, but it was almost like the many stages of emotions that you go through with running an ultra. So she'd like showed off the beautiful scenery, and then she was like looking really cross because it was annoying her, and then she was like elated again, and then she was fast, and then she was slow. And sadly, I don't think the video is available anymore. I did try and contact her and say, "Can I put this on our YouTube channel?"
Yeah.
But sadly, but it was a really good thing. And I had experience with that because I did one leg, no, two
Two
legs
legs. Yeah.
of the Ocul Ultra in 2018. I had a team, and somebody unfortunately couldn't make it. And me and my amazing optimism went, oh, I'll do both. That's fine. Never done an ultra before. Uh,
More importantly, never run on Scottish trails before.
no, that's
And
true.
Oh,
yeah,
funny.
especially
And
the
Funny.
ones that I make people
I
go.
don't. I think the furthest I'd ever gone was 14 miles. It's 19 miles, and I also injured myself. So I'd I used to do obstacle course racing. That's how we met. Actually, we met in an obstacle course racing singles group that Ben still
Okay.
believes was only a group for people looking for lift shares and stuff like that. So I'm lucky because if he was a bit less oblivious, some other bird would have snapped him up. So anyway, I did every year. I used to do X runner 10K on the Saturday, and then I'd take my 5 to 10K runners because I was a run coach to do the Sheffield 10K the day after. That was my sort of. I'd been doing that for 3 years. On the Saturday, I jumped off an obstacle, which you're not supposed to do. I'd landed on a stone right in the middle of my foot and I'd damaged a tendon. So then I continued the race, sort of running on my toe. So my calf was messed up. I obviously swallowed some water because at the following day was sort of limping on one leg and also staving off vomiting and stuff
Oh
like that.
no.
So that was fun. Then the
Why?
following
This is why sensible people don't do
Yeah,
obstacle
exactly,
course.
exactly. The following weekend was the Ocul Ultra. So then tried to run that. Was okay on the uphill, but then my knee started really hurting on the second leg, which is mostly downhill. And I rang him up when we got to like the wind farms, and I was like, "How much further have I got to go? Because I am in agony and I can barely walk." And he was like, "Oh, it's only 3K." How many K was it?
It was about 8.
9?
That's
It
about
was
8.
9. It was 9. And I'm literally limping along. I was even trying to go downhill backwards because for some reason it didn't hurt when I was going uphill, but downhill was awful. And then with like a K to go, I was literally abusing him on the phone, going, I think hate you. This is
But
Well,
that's what
I think
everybody does.
I think we need to end it on that charming note.
sorry. Yeah, so
But
anyway, try an ultra.
yes,
So much fun.
just don't do it the way Nick's done it. That's the
No.
the
And
best
then we tried
advice
to
there.
run Kielder Marathon the following weekend as well. I was out at 5K. I went home in
Oh
the
no.
in the medic bus.
Well, thank
Not
you
good.
both so much
Thank you for
for
having us.
talking
Thank
to
you.
us.
Sorry.
It's
Sorry if
been
you've got to
great.
edit me.
No, 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 not at all. It's been a real pleasure, and I think we've learned some lot, and I'd be interested to hear any comments. Please direct them to me. Um, I'd love to hear everyone's viewpoint. I think we've discussed quite a lot today.
Mm.
So yeah, thank you
Yeah,
both.
you have.
Right. Thank you so much for having us.